Hey everybody, it's midnight again, and welcome back to Rotting Flesh Movie Reviews. I'm your host, Billy Pop. Now, this movie takes place after the very first Halloween. I just want to get that out of the way, and also spoilers ahead. Not everything, but lots. This is Halloween 2018. It was directed by David Gordon Green, and partially written by Danny McBride, I think. Stars Jamie Lee Curtis reprising her role of Laurie Strode after she's only been in the first movie. Am I right? Okay. We got Nick Castle back sometimes as Michael Myers. I think actually only in one scene. And James Jude Courtney, I believe, plays him as the rest of the time. We opened to Smith's Grove Sanitarium, where two podcast people have come to interview Michael Myers, who has been captive and docile since he was arrested back in 1978 for murder most foul. We are introduced as well to Michael's new doctor. I forget his name. When they meet Michael, his back is turned, and he's chained to a giant checkerboard with the other nutcases in the place. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Basket cases. Looney Tunes. Anyway, they hold Michael's mask up, like the pale white mask, to get him to speak as his back's turned. It makes him move slightly because he senses it, while the other cookie flippers freak out. We also find out Michael's being transferred to a different facility soon, so we know where this is going. After getting nothing out of Michael, we follow the podcasters to the home of Laurie Strode. She's been living out in the boonies, training for the day Michael escapes with guns, hidden passages, and security measures up the hoo-ha. With some money, the pod people convince her to give them a very short interview. Through her interview, we find out Laurie's had 2 failed marriages and a shitty relationship with her daughter. Apparently, the state took her daughter away for being unfit. The interviewers want Laurie to sit down with Michael to see if she can evoke a response in him. She tells them to leave, of course. We're introduced to Laurie's daughter Karen and granddaughter Allison, who seem like well-rounded individuals. Allison wants her grandma to come to dinner with her and her parents so that night they could meet her boyfriend Cameron. But Karen refuses to ask Laurie to come because she is estranged. Laurie's pretty much fine with this, as long as all the Rambo training she gave Karen protects her in life. Even though Laurie is really sad, it seems like. As Michael is being transferred, Laurie slams vodkas in her car while holding a pistol outside Smith's Grove. She cries while she does this. Then she shows up at family dinner late and starts slamming Karen's glass of wine, and she cries some more. And then she leaves in a huff, after they try and get her to stop dropping M-bombs. That's Michael Myers bombs. It's funny when Karen explains to Allison that her mom taught her to fight and shoot guns when she was a child, because she talks like it was traumatic, like knowing these things is bad somehow. She said she spent her entire life trying to get over the imprint of paranoia Laurie left on her, and says this all in a very deadpan, bored-sounding voice. We then cut to a father and son driving, and they come across the bus that Michael was being transferred in. It's in the ditch, and they pull over to investigate. Basically, Michael ends up grand theft autoing the situation. Our 2 podcasters end up in Haddonfield at Judith Myers' grave, while someone lurks at a tree. Later on, they stop at a tire shop and end up getting killed. Michael gets his mask from them and begins his reign of merry Michael Myers' murderous massacres. Laurie finds out that he escaped and goes to Karen's house to warn everyone, but nobody listens. The cops know Michael's out too, and he's out doing what he does best. Finds a great big knife, and, well, he's on his way. Allison is at the school Halloween party that night. This is Halloween, of course. Cameron kisses another girl and then throws her phone in some chip dip. Now that's how you get the ladies. Needless to say, Michael kills some of Allison's friends, throughout the movie. The police and Laurie team up along with Michael's doctor and try to simply get him. As Allison is being pursued by Michael, Laurie and Karen's husband are at Laurie's house in her basement, hidden bunker thing, getting armed to the teeth. Some pretty strange stuff happens with Michael's doctor, and a crazy and convenient turn of events happens, and Michael ends up at Laurie's house. With teamwork, the family ends up trapping Michael in the bunker, burning the house down with him inside. Now, we know he's not dead, because they already were planning on making 2 more movies at this time. I'm pretty sure before the movie even came out, we knew that. So, cool ending, but ultimately it didn't exactly matter. The directing and cinematography in this was pretty beautiful, actually, and harkened back to the classic. Michael stalking people is back, which is really nice, and they do a good job with like long panning shots and lots of him behind shit like in the first one. And I even like, I swear to God, I seen some of these shots in either the first or second Halloween movie, like not like exactly, but damn close. Acting was pretty decent. Michael was awesome. I can't really say anybody really stood out that much. The guy that, the one kid was kind of like definitely the Seth Rogen-ish character, because they have to put that kind of humor in this movie, of course, because it was written with Danny McBride. So there was him. There was, actually, to be honest, he acted more like Danny McBride, but he stood out quite a bit. Other than that, I really didn't care much character-wise, well, even acting-wise, for Cameron. I thought he was kind of a goofball. The stoner character was kind of a cliche. I think, what was the little black kid's name? Julian, I want to say, or something like that. But he was awesome. He was actually probably one of my favorite characters. He was funny. I don't know. I can't really think much else. The new guy that's supposed to be the new Loomis is kind of meh. But yeah, Michael was awesome, and he moved fairly well. Like he moved kind of like the old school Michael, but he looked a little bit like the Rob Zombie Michael Myers, which is weird. Music was pretty good. I'm pretty sure John Carpenter and his kid did the music in this, and yeah, it's got a little bit of the old, little bit of the new, but also some really cool synth stuff that I actually would like to get. Some of it's really good. The effects we got were pretty intense. There was one effect in particular that I thought, when it came to a kill, it was like, holy shit, that looks fucking painful, man. So yeah, the effects were definitely good in this, and it definitely shared nothing in comparison to the original Halloween based on that. So that is one thing that I think people probably liked, but also if you're an old school fan, maybe you didn't. Writing was hit and miss. Lots of fan service. I will say that there's little things. They even mentioned Lonnie at one point, which is the kid in the first one where Dr. Loomis is like, "Hey Lonnie, get your ass away from there." So that was pretty neat. It was a a good follow up. The humor was very Danny McBride, almost too obviously Danny McBride. That maybe not obviously him, but you can tell when he's involved with the writing. You can tell he definitely had something to do with the humor. But it wasn't the best writing. The story was okay. I don't know. I thought this was a lot of fun, although not my favorite. It is one of the better installments. Jamie Lee helps just because she's there, but even though I prefer her in H2O, definitely. But all in all, not a bad installment. I mean, at this point, the franchise is even more all over the place than it was. So you got Halloween 1 and 2 together with H2O. That is a timeline. You've got Halloween 3, which is its own timeline. You've got Halloween 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, which is its own timeline. You've got Halloween, the original, along with this one. That's its own timeline. And then you've got the Rob Zombie Halloween universe. So you've got, I don't even know how many that was that I just said, but I'm guessing 5 or 6. And anyway, so next up, the last one, until the next time they put out a new Halloween movie, I will finally review the last one in this fucking series. gave me an excuse to watch my Halloween box set, which I might, if you'd like me to, I will show you guys. It's pretty cool. But anyways, actually, to be honest, it was a gift from Todd E. Walnuts. I should mention that. Maybe in the video I'll read the note he sent me. I did unbox this, I believe, at some point, but I will show it off anyway, maybe in more detail. So anyways, guys, thank you for listening to Rotting Flesh Movie Reviews. Hope to catch you next time. Take care out there, and I guess Merry Christmas.
That Midget production.